Everybody check your shoes and see if they're missing a disc. Anybody? Anybody? Bueller? Nobody. All right, welcome, curlers, and welcome everybody up to the lounge. Thank you very much for coming on into the Everest Senior Curling Championships right here in Vernon. We got a great lineup of teams that are lined up right down on ice level right now. Just a reminder, when you have a chance to get up in the lounge, lots of great food up there. There's wonderful cocktails. It's my favorite part of the day. That's upstairs inside the lounge, so hope you have a chance to get up there. Also, there's a table set up with Everest. We're doing a couple of draws for a great blanket and a wonderful pullover sweater. So you have an opportunity to go in there, fill out the ballot, put it in the ballot box. We're going to do daily draws up there. You got to check out Everest. Let me tell you, it's
Welcome back to the Vernon Curling Club. It is day 2 action at the 2023 Everest Canadian Senior Men's and Women's Curling Championships. My name is Al Cameron from Curling Canada, joined by two-time world champion Marianne Arsenault for a big women's game between Team Prince Edward Island, Team Manitoba. Both these teams in the hunt for a spot in that championship pool, and you have to think this game will have some implications as they whittle down to the top 4 in each pool. And Marianne, you're familiar with both of these teams. We expect a great game today.
Yeah, I'm expecting a great game. Both teams have at least a game under their belts, and they've found their draw weight and where to put the broom. So I expect that it should be a good back and forth battle.
We'll introduce the lineups for this afternoon's game. It will be Prince Edward Island with last rock advantage in the first end. The skip is Susan McInnes. She is throwing third, though. Shelley Bradley is the vice skip, throwing fourth. Second is Tricia McGregor, a former Scotties runner-up in 2010. And lead Julie Scales, the alternate, Kim Dolan. All very experienced players. A lot of Scotties appearances between them. 25 Scotties appearances in total among the 4 players, not including Kim. So great deal of experience with that team. Team Manitoba, meanwhile, is skipped by Joelle Brown, and very notable that this is Joelle Brown's first time ever competing at a national championship, so she is very excited, but she's definitely got some experience with her. Her vice skip is Maureen Bonner, very experienced player, former Scotties runner-up. Second, Allison Bell. The lead is Natalie Harding, and their alternate is Deb McCrainer. They are from the Charleswood Club in Winnipeg, and we should mention that the PEI team is from the Cornwall Curling Club, so a lot of experience. PEI comes in with a 1-0 record. They won their opener yesterday, a 6-4 win over Ontario's Team Froud. Manitoba, meanwhile, coming in with an 0-1 record. They lost their opener yesterday to Nova Scotia, Team Saulnier. So Manitoba, you have to think they need to get this win today in order to have a chance at that championship pool.
You really want to go into that championship pool with only 1 or 2 losses max. It's a hard battle once you've hit sort of that 3 mark.
So we'll expect some rocks in play here early on, and it looks like that is going to be the case as the center guard was thrown up by Manitoba, and PEI will try and get one behind it right away.
Exciting.
That's what you like to see. Marianne, we saw yesterday, and we saw again this morning, the ice conditions here at the Vernon Curling Club, just absolutely superb.
Absolutely. I'm so envious. Just want to be out there.
You, of course, got to throw on this ice on Wednesday night with your league team, so you knew what these players were in for. They are using club rocks. They have sandpapered them before the championship, so there's a lot of swing in that ice.
Yeah, they're beautiful. Merck did the rocks on Wednesday, and funny, there was only actually one player of all the teams that I know that asked me for rock information.
Wow.
Yeah, so of course I gave it to him.
The correct rock information, or just
of course.
Yeah. See, that's what I like to hear.
Of course. Offer it up, but if somebody asks.
That's the way. So there is a couple of staggered guards up there now, and PEI throwing those yellow rocks will try and take advantage.
Yeah, great setup for PEI, really.
Julie Scales comes from a curling family, as many people know out there. 3 brothers who curled, including John Scales, who won the World Junior Championship in 1977 with that legendary Bill Jenkins team.
Yeah, I've played those PEI girls. Has to be hundreds of times. Different combinations, permutations. Scotties and Spiels.
And you think you'd have to think this is a team that comes in with some aspirations too, just based on the talent level and the experience factor.
Absolutely.
And PEI has never won at the Canadian Senior Championship in women's play, so you'd have to think this team is going to be a player by the end of the week.
Yeah, I'd call for them to be in the Final Four. Like you said, they're very talented and experienced, and they didn't come here just to show up.
Get our first look at Tricia McGregor, and Tricia, as many will remember, was on that 2010 Prince Edward Island women's team, skipped by Kathy O'Rourke, that made it all the way to the Scotties final in Sault Ste. Marie before falling short to Jennifer Jones.
Yeah, you'll notice Tricia's delivery is a little different than you may have known from in the past. She had quite a knee injury, and so she's changed her delivery to be quite upright and still making lots of shots.
Trying to get that one to flow a little bit, except for that one. It's just a little heavy and wide.
Yeah, it's touchy, when you throw a little bit too much weight, you just won't get that curl.
So Manitoba second, Allison Bell. Been to a previous seniors and been to a couple Scotties, including a runner-up finish in 1993, playing with Maureen Bonner.
That was my first Scotties. Or the Scott it was then.
It was the Scott then, but still the Tournament of Hearts, which
yeah, that's right.
Everybody remembers that 4-heart logo, one of the most famous in Canadian sports, in any sport.
Yeah, most wonderful sponsor. Love my diamonds.
You've won a few of them over the years. So it is Manitoba with shot rock, but a chance here for Prince Edward Island. Tricia McGregor to see if she can throw that shot a little better than she did the first, and see if PEI can sit 2 here.
few deep errors there from both teams. This one looks better. Sneaky.
And just a cheeky little double and sit buried. Very nice. The only issue I would guess is, yes, there's the pocket that Joelle Brown will ask Allison Bell to draw into.
Yeah, she's going to have to make this one.
Allison's a vaccination nurse at Shoppers Drug Mart in Winnipeg.
Oh, she would have been busy.
And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention her husband, good buddy of mine in the newspaper industry, Winnipeg Free Press sports editor Jason Bell, who covered an awful lot of curling back in the day. Now he's telling people to cover the curling. Trying to get some swing out of this.
It's pretty nice.
That is a tasty shot right there. Very nice. And you will not get that out with a stick of dynamite, so only one real call here, I think, for PEI.
Yeah, that was one of those gift-wrapped presents that they had to open.
There it was. Yeah, exactly that. We definitely see that you can get behind just about anything here, and Susan McInnes will see if she can get to the, I don't know if she can get to the face of it, but she certainly get to the corner of it, even with a little weight to unlock it a little bit is the hope.
I think so, yeah. And really, you don't need to be anywhere tight to that guard to make this shot. She's looking like way out there right now.
Yeah, that's going to have to curl a lot.
She had the right weight for the shot, just didn't have the broom in the right spot.
So it still is Manitoba's sitting shot, and thought process here, I think, is to get to that corner freeze position before PEI does.
Absolutely. Yeah, then PEI is going to be in some trouble if Maureen makes this one.
So you mentioned Maureen, former Scotties silver medalist, 1993. Lost the final to Sandra Schmerler. That was in her home province of Brandon.
Yeah, they were definitely the crowd favorites that year. Lovely shot.
Of course, Brandon is her hometown, so that would have been a particularly special moment, getting all the way to that final that year.
Absolutely. With the late Lois Fowler. Sweetheart of a lady.
Yeah, one of the more beloved, well, most beloved players in Manitoba curling history, passed recently of cancer, and former teammate of Maureen and of Allison Bell on this team. Passing was felt by a lot of people in Manitoba when the news was announced earlier this fall.
Yeah, agreed.
Now Susan McInnes trying to get out of a little bit of a jam here. It is PEI with last rock, but Manitoba in control here.
Too high again.
Manitoba still sitting two, and another chance to get one into that pocket here for Joelle Brown.
Yikes.
Yes. Joelle's an elementary school teacher for 24 years at Montrose School since 2016.
Sure, the kids will be watching her this week.
Played in 16 Manitoba Women's Championships.
Wow.
This is her first trip to a national championship at any level. In fact, talked about that 2004 Scotties Manitoba team, skipped by Lois Fowler with Maureen Bonner and Jerry Cook, that played in Red Deer. It was
Yes.
Joelle Brown's team that lost that Manitoba final to get to Red Deer.
Okay.
And I guess we should ask you who won that Red Deer Scotties, but we both know it was you and Team Colleen Jones.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was the year of the big white wand snowstorm.
Oh, yes. That was
Yeah,
a little light. Actually gets a nice bump out, though, so still think you should be able to bury behind that
agreed. Yeah, I
in the
think she
pocket.
just let Shelley off the hook there. Only 2 rocks out of play.
Yeah, nice conservative, wide open curling here in the first end, which is no, this is a good end, and you'd expect that from two very good teams. Shelley's played in 9 Scotties. Bronze medal winner in 2003 when she was playing lead with Suzanne Burt.
I don't remember Shelley ever playing lead. You're the trivia man, though.
Well, the internet is great for stats, right?
Stats man, yeah.
Yeah. That's going to have to swing a little more. Will it finish?
Curl and die. Oh, so close.
Yeah, very close. Maybe just a couple feet too heavy there. So it still is, I believe, Manitoba sitting 2. That second shot may be a measure, but
Yeah.
regardless, Manitoba will certainly lob one in there, put some more pressure on for Shelley's final shot.
Yeah, and this is a case where you don't want to be deep. You don't want to be back to that yellow one that Shelley just threw. You want to make sure that you're top 4 or even air on the top 8 side of things, even if you're not sitting 3. You'd rather be higher rather than deeper. Readers are indicating it's all there.
Will that get right through? No, it won't. But there is a little bit of an out. Again, as you mentioned, Marianne, this is the out that PEI needed.
Yeah, did I just curse her? Yeah, now there's all kinds of options for Shelley. Just can't be light.
Well, good. Now he has a female here to cheer him on. I said, Stephanie,
I would expect after Shelley's first one, she'll be really close with this one. Oh, it's quick down there.
Yes. Brushers are not putting anything on this. Does have backing.
She can use it all.
And I think it's okay.
Yeah, 1 yellow.
That was a nervous one, but it is one for Prince Edward Island, and they will take the lead. It will be Manitoba with Last Rock when we return to the Vernon Curling Club right after this. Welcome back to the Vernon Curling Club as we head into the second end of today's featured women's game between Prince Edward Island and Manitoba, and it was PEI scoring one in that first end. And I think by the end of it, Marianne, there was 15 out of 16 rocks in play. That was quite an end of all-out offense to score just 1 point.
Yeah, so often the way. I would expect now that they've all had a chance at draws, they'll be a little more precise this end. That one was a 15 without much rotation, so it's quick.
Natalie Harding, the southpaw lead for Team Manitoba.
Where that light handle just goes sideways and dies, eh?
Yeah. That's very release sensitive, and it just if you don't do the right thing with that release, it's there's going to be some bad results, and that was not ideal.
Yeah, I'm sure her teammates will remind her about rotation.
It's an opportunity here for PEI to put a guard up on that stone that's in the rings.
Yeah, nice weight, but again, just that light rotation made it curl too much.
You know, if there's one thing that obviously when you talk about how this sport has evolved over the last, let's say 20 years, obviously sweeping is probably the biggest area of how the sport has changed, the knowledge of what sweeping can do and how to sweep, and it's still changing. But boy, the knowledge of the release and all the intricacies of the release, Marianne, it's just amazing what people know now that they didn't necessarily know even 10 years ago.
Oh, absolutely. And, really, to play on different conditions, you need different releases. If you're playing at a curling club that only has a couple of feet of curl, then it's fine to throw that light handle release with the only, 1.5 to 2 rotations. But now that they texturize the stones, if you don't put a good 4 to 6 rotations on, you're just going to be losing your handle, and the rock goes sideways and loses speed at the end. So it's harder for the sweepers to judge as well. But you see some of the teams now, especially the European teams and some of the Asian teams, are now throwing 7 or 8 rotations. And a lot of people think that if you throw that much rotation, that the rock won't curl. But in fact, it will still curl. It just curls later.
So PEI sitting 2 now. And certainly, I would think if you're Manitoba, it's that rock at the top of the 12 that they're looking to remove that is the bigger concern.
For sure. And if she gets this hit and roll, then she'll have a nice setup for a deuce. A little tight there, I think.
That might be on the guard, and in fact, it is. That's a better result for Maureen Bonner.
There's another store out that way too. It's South Preserve Shop. Both places are advertising.
Boy, that's going to have to swing. There, just gets a piece.
Yeah, I think that was a little heavy weight for the ice that was put down there.
So Joelle Brown will draw into the house here.
It's always nice as a skip to get a free draw, get the feel.
Yeah, you'll want to have that feel if it comes down to an 8-then draw for the win, that's for sure.
Exactly.
Mentioned that this is her first time wearing a jacket at a national championship. I asked this to Penny Shantz earlier today. Marianne, do you remember the first time that you wore any kind of a provincial jacket at any competition? Was it that 93 Scotties?
Yep, that was my first one. I never went to a juniors. So yeah, 93 was my first. And I remember we were televised our first game of the round robin. And so it was my first Scotties, and I was playing lead. So I was throwing the first rock against Team Quebec. And all I was wanting was to not fall. And luckily I didn't. And, once I got that first throw under my belt, then everything was smooth sailing after that.
That rock ended up in an interesting spot.
Mm-hmm.
If Shelley knows this, I think we both know what Joelle Brown will try and follow up with.
Well, I know what I would do.
Yeah.
Obviously, Shelley's trying to roll in. That's pretty good.
Just enough.
It's like we're making our way towards blank end here.
Need I remind you about the commentator's curse? Need I remind you?
Yes. Shush,
Wow.
shush. Don't tell Shelley.
Yeah, you bet I won't tell Shelley. Third end action here at the Vernon Curling Club. A little more snow outside this morning, and mentioned your drive in here from Lake Country might have been a little interesting, or the roads are okay?
Roads were fine. It just sort of started to snow about halfway along the journey, 20-minute journey. So I expect on the way home might be a little different story.
That should roll out, and
there we go. No curse.
There you go. I like the chances here. This will be a throw through, and as Paul Webster liked to tell me, the longtime coach in Calgary, who now coaches Team Botcher, of all the shots that are thrown in the sport of curling, no shot is cleaned better than the throw through.
Yeah, that's right.
You never see a team take a chance with a throw through. Draw to the button, sometimes they'll lift those brooms up, but never on a throw through.
Yeah. And you want to pick a spot in the ice that you may be wondering about, and you're not looking to throw a howitzer down there. Just throw a nice. Looks like she's throwing a nice sort of bumper board weight just to see what that's going to do. So she got a good read on the ice there.
So it is going to be a couple of zeros going on the board, and it will be Prince Edward Island that will have last rock when we come back for the fourth end after this. Welcome back to the Vernon Curling Club as we head into the fourth end of this game between PEI and Manitoba. It is Manitoba with that 2-1 lead. Allison Claude getting things started. I'm sorry, Natalie Claude getting things started for us here in this fourth end. Natalie's a teacher as well in the Winnipeg area.
It's one of the trickiest professions to be a competitive curler, trying to get the time off.
Natalie tells a good story about when she was in grade 8, she was doing a school project, and the person she interviewed for that school project, Connie Lalaberty.
Oh, really?
And that got her inspired to take up the sport at a high level, and here we are all these years later, and she's representing Manitoba at a Canadian championship.
That is a great story. A little deep here for Julie. And Natalie's going to want to make this one. She probably won't get another chance at it. Well, it looked like quite a bit of weight coming out of her hand. So with the less rotation, it might come down.
Maureen Bonner trying to get it to curl a little bit.
It's going.
Wow, that's great sweeping by Maureen. Well done. Now, almost it's a big shot early in this end for Prince Edward Island.
Yeah, and Julie just made it, so she should have a pretty good idea to do on the second time around, though the sweepers think it's there on its own. 14-2, yeah, a little heavy. It's a good line, though. Nice.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, she's got a nice angle on that one.
Clearly, both these teams said after that third end, okay, enough is enough. Let's get back to action here.
That's right. That was boring. Oh,
That's just a little tight, I think. Yep. Potentially usable later in the end, though.
yeah.
PEI with Hammer here, trying to figure out a way to generate a couple.
She's got to feel that center guard. She must have heard me.
Wow. With great power comes great responsibility, Marianne. Use this wisely, okay? That was some impressive
Vibing.
Yeah. Seems to be pretty natural there. You might even could even spill the shooter into the rings if you come off both those stones.
Yeah, if you got it really skinny.
Well, that'll be the call for Trish. Is the certainly peel that center guard, who might get a couple good things happening depending on the outcome here.
Really want to pop that blue, second blue into the rings. Oops. Not terrible. Front's clear now, so see what Joelle decides. Right down.
So it does leave Manitoba sitting first, third, and fourth right now, but PEI does have rock in hand, and it looks like they'll just try and go around that corner and ignore the shot stone.
Love it. Now, Trisha, it's time to make a draw, girl. No, she's decided to use her sweepers this time.
They're working hard. Shelley Bradley, Julie Scales. Looks like it's just going to overcurl a bit. Maybe a hair light, and it does wreck on the guard. So no change in Manitoba sitting shot stone, as well as third and fourth. Maureen Bonner looks like she has to play a short guard.
I'm kind of surprised by this call after she hit on her first one.
And you want to talk about all-around athletes, Maureen Bonner, former provincial volleyball women's champion, national level pickleball player. She's won a national gold medal in pickleball.
Oh, really?
High level softball player back in the day as well, provincial B women's championship, high school provincials, and figure skating. Competitive figure skating back in the day too.
Yeah, she's far too tall to continue with figure skating.
And yes, a terrific curler as well.
Yeah, not too bad. And a nice woman.
As an added bonus. Now, PEI might have to start thinking about some bailout shots here.
So she signed up to watch last night.
Yeah, things turn so quickly when you have a miss.
Third rocks, Susan McInnes. Got to be careful about the jam here. That might go across the face, and
Ouch.
yeah, that's a problem. Manitoba sitting first, second, and third, and fifth. And they're going to put another one in there. Top 8, it looked like.
Yeah, top 12, top 8. Somewhere to make Shelley's life miserable.
Sweepers are not touching this, Allison and Natalie.
Looks pretty good.
Well, they knew it was all right.
A little deeper than the call, but does the trick.
Susan McInnes, her second shot here in this fourth end. PEI does have hammer, but they are in chase mode here in this fourth.
Yes, I'm seeing a draw to the 4-foot in Shelley's future. Third shot.
I would say second.
Yeah, it could be it. Not a bad spot then.
Yeah, no, I think Mexico is going to have to do something with it. That said, I don't see a 2 here anywhere easy for Prince Edward Island.
No, as long as Joelle stays away from the jam. I imagine she'll just be throwing a board type of weight.
Quick reminder, we'll be back on the air tonight at 6 p.m. Pacific. That's 9 p.m. Eastern, as the Everest Canadian Senior Curling Championships continue here on Curling Canada Plus, as well as on TSN Plus. 4 games, 4 sheets being streamed here from the Vernon Curling Club. So you have your choice of games to watch. And it looks like Maureen and Joelle are going to have a little chat.
Yeah, I think Joelle probably got down there and didn't like the look of the jam possibilities there.
So is this basically just a guard to cover off that 4-foot or take away the raise?
I think she's taking away the yellow rays. She indicated she wanted to put it in front of the rock that Susan had just put there.
Yeah, you were right, though, I think, Marianne. The only way they could get in trouble was with the jam, and the only way they'd have that kind of trouble is if they played the hit. So
That's right. This way, you're leaving Shelley a more difficult shot. In order to not jam, you pretty much have to hit and roll under those corner guards, which would then open up your shot rock. So I like this decision.
But as we have discussed a couple times, guards are no walk in the park here.
That's right. Just needs a little finish. She's good.
Just enough at the end, I think.
Yeah. You could probably play it with softly.
I was thinking that on that counterclockwise side, but the broom goes right down right away. Obviously, they'd had a game plan if that guard was made, so...
Yeah, it is a pretty juicy looking spot to draw to. And probably Shelley's going to have to throw a draw on her last. So might as well throw one on her first.
Shelley works at Holland College, and she's the assistant registrar in the Academic and Enrollment Services Department. She's having a mini school reunion here, by the way, Marianne. She's from Dalhousie, New Brunswick.
That's right.
And the two Lecoq brothers, Vance and Mark, are from there.
Yep.
See where this ends up.
Got to die in a hurry.
Just slides a little deep, I think.
Deep, yeah.
One other person from Dalhousie, New Brunswick, Jamie Gauthier, the lead for None of It. So the 4 of them were posing for a picture here last night after the opening ceremony. 4 people from Dalhousie, New Brunswick. I'm told it's about a town of about 5,000.
Yeah, it's not a big town, that's for sure.
Yeah, they all went to high school together there. So now a chance for Joelle Brown to get there first and make it awfully tough for New Brunswick to score, for PEI to score. Big opportunity here for Manitoba skip, Joelle Brown.
Yeah, if she puts this in the right spot, it's going to be pretty difficult shot for Shelley with her hammer.
Natalie Claude, Allison Bell, the responsibility of putting this in the right spot. Swept it just about all the way.
Getting greedy.
Well, they get it there for second shot.
They did.
And based on that, the stagger there, I don't think I'd want to be throwing the in. Well, I don't want to throw the out turn either.
Yeah, you'd almost have to just throw a little spinner down the intern side.
What are they looking at here?
Well, I guess she's looking at sort of half rock on the yellow. I don't know if you can get by with enough to hit only half of that. Sort of shoot the one that Joelle just put there straight sideways. It looks like the one biting the forefoot would still be shot.
I think they're going to call a timeout and have a team chat about this.
Yeah, have Kim come out and see if she sees something wonderful for them.
Yeah, really, just that first shot that Shelley threw, that was the opportunity that was there for them and just went a little deep.
Yeah, game of inches, or in this case, game of feet.
Marianne, we talked yesterday about this championship and how much you want to play with it. I know you have a team that's going to be entering the BC Senior Women's Championship later this season, and I know it's a pretty big motivating factor for you that you'd be able to go to play in Moncton next season if you were able to get another BC jacket.
Yes, absolutely. That's where I learned how to curl, and you were talking about all the various New Brunswickers out there, and I grew up with all of them as well. Junior scene and playing at the Beaver Curling Club in Moncton, and then I moved over to the Bow, which is now Curl Moncton, and that's where the Nationals will be hosted next year. So it'd be nice. I've still got lots of family in the Moncton area.
And there's a lot of championship curling yet to look forward to this season. Of course, the Season of Champions will continue at the 2024 Scotties Tournament of Hearts in Calgary at Winsport. That'll be followed soon after by the Montana's Briar, presented by AGI. Take place first week in March in Regina. And then soon after that, we'll be heading back to Nova Scotia for the BKT Tires World Women's Curling Championship in Sydney. There in Cape Breton. So 3 great events to look forward to if you're interested in attending those events. Curling.ca/tickets. It's curling.ca/tickets to watch the best curlers in Canada and from around the world compete during the Season of Champions.
Yeah, and then it was just announced recently that Nova Scotia is getting a number of events next year.
It sure is. We had an announcement in Halifax to announce that the 2024, well, I guess 2025 as well, it'll be over the holiday break that year. The 2025 Canadian Mixed Doubles Trials will be held in Liverpool, followed by the pre-trials in Wolfville, and then the granddaddy, the big event, the Canadian Curling Trials to determine our 4th player Olympic teams will be in Halifax. And we'll see where Shelley Bradley's last shot ends up. She plays the tick, and I do not think it rolled far enough. And I think that's going to be a steal of 2 for Manitoba.
I agree, Al.
So 2 more go on the board for Team Manitoba. They have a 4-1 lead. PEI will have hammer. The teams will have their fourth end break. We will too. We'll be back after a few minutes here at the Vernon Curling Club at the 2023 Everest Canadian Seniors. Welcome back to the Vernon Curling Club as we head into the second half of today's featured women's game at the 2023 Everest Canadian Senior Curling Championships. It is Manitoba's team Joelle Brown from the Charleswood Club in Winnipeg. They stole two in the fourth end, and they now take a 4-1 lead over Team Prince Edward Island. Big steal of two in that fourth end. And now it is the PEI team from Cornwall that is going to try and scrap its way back in the game. I'm Al Cameron from Curling Canada, joined by Marianne Arsenault on today's broadcast. And Marianne, we're going to make you the coach. Let's talk about what you would have said to these two teams during that fourth end break. If you were coaching them, let's start with the leading team, Team Manitoba, with that 4-1 lead.
Well, first off, I would have talked about let's remember that it's quicker in after the break, and but basically just affirm that they're throwing great and um, keep doing what you're doing, but also a good reminder that 4-1's not a lead that's insurmountable for the other team. So keep the pedal to the metal and keep making shots.
Team Prince Edward Island, on the other hand, that was a disappointing two steal that they gave up in that fourth end.
It really was, and it's just a matter of draw weight for their team. They're just a little deep on everything, and so if they can just crisp up that draw weight, use your sweepers, um, confirm with your teammates what speed you're looking for. Let's make sure we get those rocks on the X rather than just in a wide range of acceptability, and just clean up that draw weight a bit. And being down three is not the end of the world. You get a deuce here, you're right back in it. So sometimes people try so hard to get all those points back at once and then end up giving a steal. So last thing they can do is give up a steal here. So let's go for our deuce and see what happens after that.
We talked yesterday about the mental side of the game, and of course, your team back in the day worked with sports psychologist Ken Bagnall for so many years. And if your team PEI, there's got to be a little bit of a frustration factor the way that deuce, that steal came up on them, and an opportunity that got away from them earlier in the game as well when they seemed to have a steal prepared and just couldn't get the guards in the right spot. How much does that mental side of the game come into a potential comeback here?
Well, you have to know how to park those kind of things. The bounce back is huge, and they just there's nothing they can do about what's happened in the past. So let's move forward and just get sharper. And no good getting down on yourself because all that's going to do is make you play worse. So stay positive and know they've got the shots. And it's not like they're missing by a huge margin. It's just that little bit deep that makes all the difference in the world. So just a nice adjustment of 4 to 6 feet on the weight, and they're right back in it.
And a break or two. And does this a jam? No, almost a jam, though. That would have been a big break. So it is Manitoba sitting two. And there is the corner guard up. And as you might expect, PEI will use that corner guard, which is nice to see. You see so many teams throw a corner guard and then kind of ignore it after a while, but
So true.
there's a reason they put it up. Let's use it.
Yeah, so she's got options here. Go around the corner. She could pump that one, blue one in the top of the rings back, which I might be calling right now. Yeah. So that's a matter of communication. I think if the sweepers had committed out of Trisha's hand that this is through, Susan could have got them on it right away and probably hit half of that blue rock. Rumor has it.
Rumor has it. Good sweeping there by Natalie Claude to get enough movement on that, I think. Yep, get the job done. Shooter will roll out.
And here we go again with the easy blank.
And again, another chance just to learn a path of ice, but they will put a couple of more zeros on the board. And Prince Edward Island will have the hammer when we come back to the sixth end right after this. Welcome back to the Vernon Curling Club as we head into the sixth end of our feature game between Manitoba and Prince Edward Island. PEI blanks the fifth end, and they will have hammer in the sixth, and they get a good start to this end as Manitoba is a little bit deep on that first shot, and it will be Julie Scales being asked to throw the guard.
Yeah, looks like we'll have some offense created this end with that rock going deep.
Sweeper's not touching that. That's got to be out in front.
Oh, never a doubt out.
Yeah, that was a guard all day. So this is the sixth end here out of the 8-end game. So you got to think PEI has to, well, score 2 anyways if they want a chance to win this game. This is a big end for PEI.
Yeah, they've got to score. Sure. You'd prefer to score a multiple, of course.
And that's, you'd have to call that another helpful rock probably for PEI.
Yeah, I don't know if they called that out front or if...
No, I think that was supposed to be top 4-ish.
Okay.
So now PEI, we'll see if they can get behind it. Julie Scales. Good chance to set the tone for the rest of this end for Julie Scales. Got that corner guard up. Now she can get one behind. Be a rare opportunity that PEI would put Manitoba in chase mode for the end.
That's right. I think I might have been tempted to go around that corner rather than fighting amongst yourselves on the forefoot.
That's going to be just a little bit tight and light.
Yeah.
And now look out. That Joelle Brown couldn't put the broom down fast enough.
The dreaded staggered guards. So
Allison Bell has a chance to get behind those staggered guards. Natalie Claude and Maureen Bonner. Walking it in.
It's all there.
Slides to the back 4.
Game on.
Yep, you bet. Christian McGregor now. See if she can follow that down. Left-hander's out turn. That might be a little tight as well.
It's a little heavy. Tuck and roll in.
Well, they do have 3 yellow stones that can be used at this end, but I don't think Manitoba will allow that situation to stay for too much longer.
No, I wouldn't think. If the score was tighter, you'd probably see her come around top 4 here, but being up 3, she just wants to eliminate yellow rocks.
No need to take any risks at this stage with a 3-point lead.
That's right.
Manitoba will have the bye tonight, by the way, or PEI will have the bye tonight. Manitoba goes right back on the ice at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. They will take on Ontario. PEI will be off until tomorrow morning when they return to the ice against Nunavut.
Didn't really change the situation a whole lot.
Oh, another opportunity here for Trish. See if she can get to that shot stone and get it buried. The sweeper's not touching this so far, though.
Poor Trisha's having a rough old time of it out there today.
Just a little bit heavy, and it will slide to the back 12. And now Manitoba, Maureen Bonner. We'll see if she can get one in there and apply a little more pressure to this PEI team. Feels like that rock might be a little warmer than they'd hoped. Natalie and Allison not really wanting to sweep, and now they'll.
Yeah, seems to be coming down now. Great line.
Very, very nice. And now it's getting a little bit nervous here for Prince Edward Island. Kelly Bradley will ask for a hit. Yellow onto blue onto blue.
Yeah, she must figure there's double on the blues there. Save the shooter.
Trying to hold the line on this. Now they stop. Well, I'm not sure what that changed other than the angles are not even as good now.
Yeah. Yeah, not exactly sure what she was seeing there, but can't imagine that was the result she was looking for.
So it looks like it's going to be a guard, the call here for Maureen Bonner. Just kind of plug that hole and make it awfully, awfully tough for Prince Edward Island to score here in the sixth end. Didn't really want this in the house, though. And it will come in a little deeper than they'd hoped.
Interesting.
Now, chance at a hit and roll here. Maybe a bit of an out that's been offered to Prince Edward Island.
Yeah, I think you got to throw just a nice board weight to get that lower roll.
Susan McInnes. She works at Peak and McInnes Limited, selling life insurance and group benefits. Trying to get that to curl a little bit.
Oh,
Boy, you almost had the skinny double there, too.
yeah. That hurts.
Just a little bit wide. And now Manitoba sitting 3, rock in hand. And now chance to well and truly close that hole that might have been available to Prince Edward Island. Joelle Brown with her first shot here in this 6th end. We talked all along, Marianne, that we figured it was a priority for Prince Edward Island to score. It's going to be awfully hard to score at this
It's going
stage.
to be tricky, isn't it? Depending what happens with this one, of course.
The sweeper's not wanting to sweep it at all. So
Yeah, a little deeper than she was calling, but it's all right.
that'll do the job.
Yeah.
There's a lot of options, not a lot of them good, though, for Prince Edward Island. What do you see, Marianne?
Nothing yummy.
Yeah, I can't disagree. It's might have to do some damage with your first stone just to give you something on your last.
Yeah. Problem is, any kind of peel, they're just going to replace. Yeah, I think it's probably your only option, either that or slash a yellow in.
I kind of figure that that yellow slash might be the last shot anyways. Unless you can make 1 or 2 go away with this. I mean, there is certainly, the run back does give you some opportunities at a double.
Yep.
Gonna have to throw some weight at it because, as we've said, these rocks are not the liveliest. They certainly move, but they don't. You don't get a lot of bounce off them.
That's right.
So a straight peel. So I expect, like you suggested, that the guard will just be replaced.
Yeah, you know, even if Manitoba didn't throw right now, it'd be tough for Shelley to score.
I just thought it might kill some time.
So anywhere in the middle of along the center line seemed to be the call there, and I don't think they'll be upset if it comes in. There you see Maureen Bonner putting down the broom just right on top of their stone that's at the top of the 4-foot there. They'd sit 4 and say, essentially, to Shelley Bradley, good luck.
Yeah, I think all she's going to have is a wide out turn around her top yellows to maybe get to the 8 foot and cut them down to 1. It's not pretty. Looks like it's all there.
Now then, what can Shelley Bradley do here to score? Trying to see if maybe they bounce off that blue that's at 2 o'clock and then bounce in, and I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not
I
seeing
don't
that
think you
blue
can
one.
skinny it between the two of them. I don't think.
No. You could probably make that to just give up 1. But I don't think your shooter's going to wiggle through.
And even then, like we've said, I don't know. You're gonna have to throw it awfully hard as well.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like that's the call, though. Final shot here in this 6th end for PEI. Shelley Bradley needing to make something awfully special. Otherwise, Manitoba will steal multiples here.
Oh, girl. Just trying. It's a nice shot.
I'll tell you what, that was a terrific shot to give up 1.
Absolutely.
So it is going to be Manitoba stealing just the 1, and they will take a 5-1 lead after 6 ends. We'll be back for 7th end action right after this. So we'll head into this 7th end at the Vernon Curling Club. It is Manitoba with a 5-1 lead, but Marianne Shelley Bradley made a terrific shot with her last just to avoid giving up 3, maybe 4.
She really did. You had to almost wreck on the blue one that was top 12 to make that shot, and she made it perfectly.
I guess if you're looking at a theme from this game, it just hasn't, the ends haven't been set up for Prince Edward Island. That's been the biggest issue, I think.
That's right. Yeah. Shelley's been failing pretty much every end, and then gets an opportunity and then just comes a little deep. Seems to be a consistent thing this game.
So the corner guard is the call here for Julie Scales. One more reminder that we'll be back on the air tonight at 6 p.m. at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern Time here on Curling Canada Plus, as well as TSN Plus here at the Everest Canadian Senior Curling Championships. 3 more draws tomorrow at the draw times tomorrow, 10 a.m., 2 p.m., 6 p.m. Those are all Pacific time. 1 p.m., 5 p.m., and 9 p.m. Eastern here at the Everest Canadian Seniors. 4 sheets being streamed. You get to choose which game you'd like to watch out of those 4.
Let they come around.
This Manitoba team, as we mentioned, lost their opening game yesterday. Lost to Team Nova Scotia 6-3, but it's been a nice bounce back. And you almost have to think that even early on, this was a must-win for Manitoba. 2 losses early in the round robin would have been a tough hill to climb.
Yeah, absolutely.
PEI came in with a 1-0 record. So all things being equal and the way things are going in this game, both teams will have a 1-1 record going into play later in the round robin. But stranger things have happened.
Absolutely. Last night even probably people wouldn't have put a whole lot of money on PEI winning their game in that extra end, and they got a break and stole the extra and won the game. So, they're not going to give up.
2 guards up, so that's a good start for PEI. Talked about this Manitoba team. All 3 of the players outside of Skip Joel Brown have national championship experience, some form or another. It is only Joel who is the rookie. The first time she's ever put a buffalo on her back. And that is a big deal in Manitoba curling. And she's come close an awful lot of times in the past, as we've talked about. And such a tough province to come out of at any level.
Yeah, she must be pretty excited.
Marianne, you probably know a lot of curlers. When you think about how many curlers that curl in Canada, and that the most recent data that we had was over 2 million participated in the sport in one way or another in the past 24 months or 12 months, pardon me. That was 2022 data, which is 2 million curlers. When you think about just how few a number it is that have worn a provincial jacket or territorial jacket at a national championship, and then you get to realize how special an experience it is to play at a national championship event.
It really is, and then you've got some players who have gotten multiple provincial jackets, from different provinces. That's kind of cool too. But, it is a bit of a small society or cult, as a friend of mine used to say. We all kind of know each other and socialize together. Perhaps share a beverage after a game.
Well, that does kind of beg the question. I'm always wanted to, now that I think about it, someone like you has got a zillion provincial jackets from Nova Scotia and those Team Canada uniforms. How many uniforms have you kept?
Not many. I've got one from Nova Scotia, one from Canada, and one from BC. I usually give them away to charities when they're doing auctions and things like that.
So in shadow boxes, I assume, hung somewhere in the house?
No.
No?
No.
In a drawer someplace.
Kim Kelly has a room that she calls the I Love Me room. It's down in her rec room, and she's got a bunch of memorabilia. Yeah, fun for curling enthusiasts.
So it still is Manitoba sitting, one for sure, maybe 2. But they're not going to take any risks with the guards, I suspect. We'll see some peeling going on here at the rest of this end.
Yeah, they just want to make yellows go away.
Maureen Bonner now. That might be a nose, though. Well, it'll roll out a little bit, so good result. And Susan McInnes now.
Tough to get much hidden behind that. Yeah, the seniors is a nice event because it's kind of like going back in time where everybody's friends again, and you're serious when you're on the ice and very competitive, but then as soon as you're off the ice, you're having a beverage together and doing lots of socializing, kind of like it used to be. Now the big events are just so serious that it's hard to even get to know people.
It's all fun and games right now, but come playoff time, I suspect it'll get a little more serious here, too.
It will, but there'll still be the sitting together at a table after the
100%.
game, solving the problems of the world.
Well, yes. And this is a great setup here at the Vernon Curling Club, the upstairs lounge. Lots of space, lots of tables, lots of areas to sit down and, as you say, try to make the world a better place over a glass or two. No good wine here to be had, though, eh?
Yeah, the Okanagan is certainly famous for its wineries, and justly so.
Good throw there by Maureen Bonner.
PEI's got a little something in the works.
Might be able to get the deuce here. Maybe. What do you think? Do you think they're sitting 2-3 here?
No. Not sure. Yeah, I'd say 2-3. Should be 1-2-3 after this.
Susan McInnes now. This is an opportunity for PEI and chance to finally apply some late pressure in an end.
Just gotta curl a mile. Here it comes.
Good sweeping there. Now we get to skip rocks, and it is PEI sitting 3.
Dream is still alive.
And when you think about it, Marianne, this is one of the first pressure shots I think that Joelle's had to play in this game.
Yeah, she hasn't had a whole lot of pressure on her for sure. See how she handles it now at her first national.
Open hit, but an open hit with a lot of implications here for Joelle Brown.
Yeah, that guard is high enough that I think even if you were to get the perfect hit and roll behind that center guard, you can still dig it out.
Boy, that's got a curl, a ton.
Wow.
My goodness.
Yikes out.
5-1 lead, and PEI about to sit 4.
Never say die.
I'm not really good at numbers, but that math looks pretty good for a big finish here. That didn't seem so likely as little as 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, even if they were to be able to squeeze a 3 out of this end, a whole new ball game. Big, huge momentum shift if PEI gets multiple score here.
Thought process here, I guess, is just to make the double as hard as possible.
Yeah, I think they're trying to do a little Christmas tree.
Shelley Bradley. First shot here in this 7th end. Sweeper's not touching it. They don't want this too deep. I think that's coming right in on top of that shot stone. Maybe they would have swept that a little harder and get a little more separation. So the double possibility is there.
Looks like a double and roll.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you throw it hard enough, even a triple possible. Not a very easy triple, but.
Double looks like a bit of a gimme, doesn't it?
Well, listen, not in my Tuesday night open league, it isn't, but at this level, you'd like to think so. But again, that's where these the rocks that don't have the big spring-like effect have an effect here. So she's going to have to throw it hard.
And she'll have her last throw in her mind, so she did tighten up the ice.
Joelle Brown, last shot, definitely a little tighter this time. The sweepers are right on it out of her hand. Now, is that going to over curl? Will it take it out? Barely.
Wow.
And now, touch tape for 4 and a tie game coming home.
Crazy, eh?
Wow. But you said it right off the top of the of this 7th end. Anything can happen. Good call there.
I'm a witch.
I'm not saying no. I want that known. I mean, listen, you have strange and unusual powers. So
yeah, I would expect Shelley's going to make this.
We've been assuming all along, we don't know about the camera angle here, but we're going to assume that rock at 3 o'clock is 3rd shot, right?
I agree, yeah.
Okay, good. We did have a situation with some biters that weren't biters earlier today in
really?
the morning game. So we take nothing for granted until we see the 4 go on the board, assuming this is 4. And it is 3 for sure. And they will kick that off, and we're going to put 4 on the scoreboard. So, Marianne, it is a tie game coming home.
Yeah, we'll see if PEI can steal another win.
So it is Manitoba that will have last rock. We'll be right back after this. All right, we are back, and it is a tie game here in the 8th end between Prince Edward Island and Manitoba. Manitoba will have Hammer coming home. What a game it's been. What a comeback mounted by PEI in that seventh end, Marianne.
Yeah, you know, it's
There it goes.
Line's not bad. Whoa.
Did it get there? I think so.
That was a
Wow.
beauty.
Great shot. So now, what does PEI do in response? I think the slash is right there. You just saw the broom motion by Susan McInnes. I don't know what else is there.
Yeah, unless you played the double tap with just a hack weight to push it into the button, not remove the blue. That's pretty precise.
That's really precise, yeah. So PEI will call its final timeout. Kim Dolan will come out for a consult with this team from the Cornwall Curling Club. Been a great finish to this game. Comes down to 2 shots, doesn't it? Marianne, the 2 options, I guess. The slash. Either way, they got to make contact with that yellow stone that they're motioning at right now. You're throwing last. Which one are you throwing?
I think probably the one that Trish is lining up here.
Tap, tap.
Yeah.
So what's the angle? Do you have to hit it on the nose, on the high side? All you can see, it's edge on edge, it looks like, that they can see.
Yeah, I think pretty much all you can see. Yeah, the slash doesn't look bad either.
Ultimately, I think comes down to what you're feeling.
Yeah.
I can tell you another final. The PEI men's team, skipped by Phil Gorvet, takes 2 in the 8th end. And they will take a 5-3 win over Team Northern Ontario. So that leaves both teams there with 1-1 records. Big win for PEI men's team.
Looks like we've made a decision.
Still not. It looks like they are playing the yellow on yellow, and but there's I was going to say there's zero margin for error. There's zero margin for error with the slash too, isn't there? So
that's right.
And that slash, what? You'd have to hit a quarter rock, if that?
Yeah, skinny quarter.
Well, I don't know. Where they put the broom down hasn't told me which rock they're playing.
I'm with you.
Trying. So we'll see. Going to be fun to watch.
There's a shot too.
Final shot here for Prince Edward Island in this 8th end. Shelley Bradley. Seeing if she can finish off this Prince Edward Island comeback on Manitoba.
Yeah, that's quite a game saver that Joelle made.
Based on that swooping, I think they're playing well, maybe not. No.
Oh my gosh.
And that was not. I think they were caught in the middle, but it will be the single point for Manitoba, and they will pull off the 6-5 win in dramatic fashion over PEI. Marianne, that was quite a last couple ends.
It was. I didn't think we were going to make it past 6. And then, wow, what a great finish.
Just another reminder, anything can happen at the Everest Canadian Seniors. So with that, that'll conclude this afternoon's draw. A reminder, we'll be back on the air tonight at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern from the 2023 Everest Canadian Senior Curling Championships. For Marianne Morris Arsenault, this is Al Cameron saying so long from Vernon.